All right, y'all, good morning, good morning. It's Sunday morning, Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Big shout out to the mothers and the grandmothers and the aunties. So I'm going back over here to the bamboo site. I'm taking the mowers over here. I'm just going to go over here and spend a little bit of time this morning mowing some of that. I mean, hers already needs it again. Wow. I'm going to spend the time mowing, you know, what the Bobcat didn't do yesterday. I'm going to try to get some of that knocked down, so, because it's getting really tall, and I don't have anything else going on this morning. I'm going to visit my mom after lunch, and my aunt, so, yeah. They wanted me to get them a Yeti cup for Mother's Day, so that's what I got them. Pretty nice cups. If you know, they like the Yeti cups because you know they can. Well, they're nice cups. So, anyway, it's something they probably wouldn't buy themselves. So they wanted me to get them one, so I did. They came in yesterday. So by now, and I haven't read none of the comments, I just uploaded the video this morning. I didn't really have time yesterday. You know, it's you know, the busier I get, the harder it is to do the videos, y'all. You know, to edit them and everything. Yeah, I just don't have time. You know. So by now y'all probably have seen the video from yesterday where you know, we did a little bit of lawn care yesterday morning, and then after that, you know, I came over to the bamboo site with the Bobcat, and only find out that the Bobcat had a leak. Like I said, like I've been saying for the last, well, hell, probably for the last 2 months, you know, these machines are so complicated, and the older they get, the more likely you're going to have drips and things like that. But one thing you cannot have is you can't have a drip right above the engine and the starter and all of that. If you got a little drip on the track motor or something like that, well, you might be able to let that ride for a minute. I did. But you're not going to be able to let a component, you know, inside the engine there spray hydraulic fluid or drip hydraulic fluid all over the block as it's heating up. The machine will start smoking, and you know, when I see a little bit of smoke, I'm super hyper paranoid about it now. And y'all see, I got a fire extinguisher right here, ready to go. Y'all saw yesterday also the minimal damage that the fire really did to the structure, you know, the wiring harnesses and all of that. The machine seems to be running fine. Of course, I haven't ran it no more than 5 minutes, you know, yesterday. So when I got home yesterday, I didn't get no video of it, but here's the line that's got a hole in it. And when you look at this line right here, y'all, the line looks shiny and new, right? But when you move it around a little bit, you can see the dry rotted cracks in it. The reason it looks so shiny is probably because it had hydraulic fluid all over it. Maybe hydraulic fluid preserves it or some shit. But you can see, if you look right here, I don't know if you guys can see that. Y'all see that nick right there? And that's where it was coming out of. Now, I might fix this line right here for the hydraulic shop right here to make one for me. I want to say 40 bucks, you know, something like that. Yeah, about $40. And I'll put it back on, of course. But nothing wrong with it, other than nothing wrong with the fittings or anything. But when they do a hydraulic line, they're gonna replace the whole thing. They're gonna, you know, this line right here is not the one that the dealer replaced, of course. The one that the dealer replaced was a little bit longer, and it has special ends on it, right? This is just your standard 1 1/4. I believe it's a 1 1/4. It might be 1. And I had to eventually use an adjustable wrench to get it off. So tomorrow morning, I'll take this line, and I washed it. I soaked it in soapy water, because it had fluid all over it. But this is how I learned. And I've changed many hydraulic lines on pieces of equipment that I've had over the years. A tractor, of course the Bobcat, stump grinder that I had. I've never had the hydraulic lines on any of my lawnmowers leak or nothing. Never. On any mower I've ever owned. So, I don't know if that's, typical or what. But this right here is a pretty heavy duty line right here. And the only problem that I can see is putting it back on is when you have one made, it's not going to be used like this. I'm going to have, and I think that's why it's so big, is because if it were real skinny and they try to do it like this, it probably would crease, right? So, but the new line's going to be straight, and it's probably going to be a challenge to get the threads going on the back side because of some other stuff that's in the way. Yeah. This is the kind of thing that I will fix on the Bobcat. A lot of guys keep talking about, to go back down to the dealer and make them give you a machine and all that. Well, if the dealer were a 1/4 mile from my house, and all that might be logical, right? But the dealer is a 35 to 45 to an hour away, according to traffic. And I'm not going to keep going up and down the road to the dealer when I don't think, it just seems funny to me, put it like this, y'all. It just seemed funny to me that the first time I took it over there, it was all, they fixed it. They charged me $2,300, but they fixed it, right? And I take it over there after it caught on fire, and they're acting like they don't even really want, like they really don't even want to work on it. I don't know, but that's my take. That's my thinking. I'm not concerned too tough about this particular issue, but when I fix this issue, which that'll be tomorrow, and I don't have any pressing Bobcat work. I have Bobcat work lined up that I could do, and man lift stuff that I could do, but it's not really pressing hardcore, if you will. And with the labor pool that I have out here, it's a little bit of a challenge to find time to do some of the stuff that that if I had solid guys coming out here and working, I wouldn't have all these. I'd have more time, because when a guy lays out or whatever, then there's a good chance he's not going to work for a few days after that, and that's my own thing. So, but we'll see if Zach's ready to come back to work tomorrow. If not, then it's all up to him. I'm gonna be the show's gonna go on no matter what, no matter where, no matter how. Show's going on. I'm gonna be having to cut this thick stuff with the Exmark mower over here this morning, just to kind of, and I'll show y'all. Was the same plow. I'm at the exact same location I was at with the Bobcat yesterday. So the same area I'm going to be cutting. I'm going to get on the Exmark mower, the one that's not surging. See, I have quite a few issues that are coming up now, and it's not a good time for anything. One of the issues, and I'll just run them down real quick, and I'm not crying or whining or anything. I don't need nobody to tell me to put my big boy pants on and quit whining and all that. I'm just telling you. So one issue that I have is with the Ferris. The other day, before I ran it, over there at the 14-acre site, when we were over there, the Ferris tried to run hot, and this is before I ever hooked it up to pulling the other mower. So I would normally think, well, damn, man, maybe pulling that other mower is stressing the mower too much and making it run hot. That's not the case. It ran hot before I ever hooked it up. It ran hot on Anthony. Yeah. So apparently, and I don't know, maybe somebody that knows a lot more about these things than me, apparently when the thing starts to run hot, it shuts the TPO down. It shuts the blades off. I don't know. Because when it ran hot, when it tried to run, well, it didn't run all the way hot, but it ran hot. I don't think that it'll let you run it hot. I think it'll shut down. I know for a fact that it shut the blades off where it didn't work no more. And I guess that's, most of the time, not all the time, and and I'm not a mechanic, a lot of the times these diesel engines, they start getting hot, they got automatic shut off, and they'll shut off, and you might have to reset something, you might have to replace a fuse or something, not all the time, but I've seen that on quite a few diesels. So with the Ferris, we keep thinking about it as in a lawnmower is what it is. But at the end of the day, the Ferris is a highly commercial lawnmower. It's like a machine. It's built along the same lines as a skid steer or a mini skid steer. It has heavy duty stuff on it. It's the only mower that I got the brake actually works. I mean, go figure. The mower I paid the least amount for has the best brake and the most horsepower. So there's an issue with it, and I don't know if I went over it the other day. So when it tried to run hot on Anthony, I let it cool off. Like I told y'all the other day, I put water in it, and it held about a gallon of water. So that tells me it was low on water. Note to self, I need to check that. So I filled it up with water. I poured about 6 or 7 bottled waters in the radiator to fill it all the way up. I put the cap on it. Of course, it's after it cooled down. I put the cap on it and cranked it up and pulled the Exmark mower around for 2 hours, right? So then I got done with what I was going to pull around over there, and I unhooked the Exmark, and so I just continued on with the Ferris, just doing the little cubby holes where you can't get with, pulling a mower like that. And after about 30 minutes of that, it started trying to run hot on me again. So the blades shut off. So I'm like, what the hell? And we were wrapping up the job, so I pulled it up on the trailer and I put I pulled the Exmark off, and I finished up with the Exmark. So then when I got home, I just put I poured it, what little bottle of water we had out on the side, I poured it into the radiator because it was holding more water, and I'm like, damn. And the blades wouldn't engage anymore. So when I brought it home, I just parked it under my lean-to where I park it at, and I haven't fooled it yet. So that's one thing that's on my mind that I need to look at before I get on some more big cuts. Okay, so then I got the Exmark mower, the one I redid the deck on. The engine is surging. That engine only has about 600 hours on it, and it's a 35 horsepower Kohler. So I know hell, it might even be under warranty. So I may end up taking it to the dealer. A lot of you guys were saying it could be, I don't think it's bad gas. I just don't, man. I've let it run out of fuel and put fresh fuel in it, put gas treatment in it, fuel injector cleaner in it, 2 new fuel filters on it. And If I was getting a lot of problems out of the other lawnmowers, then I might be suspect to the fuel more than I am. But none of the other mowers are having any lag, and I'm putting the fuel in them at the same time with the same pump. I mean, so there's going to be something going on there. And one guy was saying one thing about the vacuum or something at the the air, letting air into the tank or something. I don't understand all that, because I was looking at it, it's got 4 spots where apparently I don't know what you guys called it. Like I said, I'm not a mechanic, so that's another thing that I got going on. And then I got Bobby too, and then I got, my help, is kind of questionable now. He done moved further away and everything, so that's all up in the air as far as I'm concerned. But we'll see. If you can't be at work on time and you live 2 miles away or 3 miles away, I don't know what makes somebody think they can be at work on time if they live 15 miles away. That's just my thinking, especially when they're not in control and they don't have a vehicle of their own. So they have to always have somebody bring them to work, and the pool of people to bring the guys to work are pretty minimal now that he moved further out. One thing is for certain though, this business will rock on no matter what. No matter what. I'm going to come on YouTube and I'm going to cry about things, because that's what I use YouTube for. I don't hardly get paid nothing, so let me at least get some psychiatric help out of it, if you will. So yeah, I know a lot of you guys are gonna come back at me, get rid of the Bobcat and all, and I am. I'm gonna get rid of the Bobcat. I'm gonna sell it, but I have to be able to sell it in sound mind. I have to be able to sell it and me feel good about it, because I know what it's like to take every dime you got to buy a skid steer. That's what I did when I bought the Bobcat. And I know the feeling that I had when I left the guy's house and I was praying that to the good Lord that the guy didn't rip me off, that I wasn't going to have any problems with the machine. And for the first 300 hours, I did not have any problems with the machine, and that's good enough, right? When you got these older machines and you're learning and you're trying to get into it, because anybody that buys my Bobcat is going to be somebody probably that's trying to get their feet wet in the skid steer game, and or maybe a landowner that just wants to use one, to move stuff around his property or whatever. I paid $20,000 for it, and I don't think, unless rubber hits the road, I don't think that I'll sell it for less than 20 grand. That's just my thinking right now as I sit here on Mother's Day. That could change, but I know that I'm going to run it, and I'm going to run it pretty hard to make sure that when I do sell it, that I feel good about selling it. Y'all saw the damage that the fire did on the wiring harness yesterday. I don't think that the wiring harnesses are damaged at all. I mean, they look bad. The plug-ins look bad, but I won't know how much damage really is until the machine really warms up some. And yesterday, it didn't even warm up none before it started smoking. And the reason it was smoking is, it's drying the water off from where I washed it, but it also is that hydraulic leak is dropping right on the damn block. Unacceptable. So my goal is to use the T190 and make some more money to help me when I buy the new machine. I told you guys I've been approved for the financing of a Takahashi whatever machine. Well, I've been approved for the financing. You know, them producing a machine. Well, I don't even know how many people are on the list to get a machine. I have no idea. You know, they're saying, and I'm gonna call the salesman tomorrow and try to hone in on, you know, about when for sure. And keep in mind too that during the summer months, I don't run the Bobcat as much as I do during the winter, because the obvious reason that I have lawns to cut. I was hoping that this year maybe I could, you know, do a few more Bobcat jobs, you know, and have guys that work for me do the lawns, and you know, some of the lawns, and me have time to pull off of the lawn care for a minute and do, you know, some more lucrative Bobcat work. But that hasn't really panned out like I wanted to yet, because there's so many factors that go into the lawn care, so many little things that guys don't remember and stuff, that you know, that can cost me a lot more money than what I want to spend for the lawn care side of stuff. So it looks like I'm going to be deeply involved in the lawn care again this season, and I really don't even want to be, you know, physically there on every single job. But it looks like it's going to take as much attention this year as it always has. So that's where I'm at. So I got the Skag is running good. My Cowie Exmark is running good, and that's about it. And all the weed eaters and trucks are running okay, you know, and blowers and all. But I'm gonna have to fix some of the stuff slowly but surely, and that's just the nature of being self-employed. So yeah, I'm gonna stand the tripod up on the back of the truck, on the back of the canopy on the truck here, and see if we can get some decent footage from a different angle. Man, this thing is nice. So yeah, time lapse coming. Okay, y'all, so y'all see how it's cutting. Now keep in mind, I would not put a mower on this if I didn't know the ground was clear. This is a prime example of how the Bobcat and the mowing can all go hand in hand, because y'all know I got paid a bunch of money over here to dig out about 40 stumps. I probably made about $7,000 over here to dig out all the stumps that were in here. I'll try to put a clip from what it looked like before. So at the end of the day, I know there's not nothing here detrimental to hurt the lawnmower. One thing that I do know that I'm seeing is after I did all the stumps, right? After I dug out all the stumps, what I did is y'all know I ran the power rake over here, and I had the ground smooth, man. Smooth with the power rake. And it was like one of the first jobs I ever used a power rake on. But it looks like over time, without it, since we didn't plant no grass seed or nothing here, that the erosion has made it a lot rougher than what it was. So once I get the Bobcat up and running again, I'm probably gonna run the power rake across this again, because it's really not smooth at all. I'm not worried about, you know, obstacles, you know, other than, you know, little sticks and stuff. I'm not worried about big rock or stump or nothing, but it is a bumpy ride, and it shouldn't be that, because I had it really smooth. So yeah, so I'm gonna cut this piece right here. I'm gonna try to get up in the little crooks and crannies by the road and stuff. Cut this piece. and I'm gonna try to get all around that pine tree up there. But I know there's a cable up there. It ain't a fiber optic cable or a electrical cable. It's just a piece of cable. And then I'm gonna cut all the way to the field right there, to probably where that telephone pole is right there. It's got all the growth around it. That's kind of what my goal is for today. Now, I know there's nothing up in here where that tall grass is. I know there's nothing there, but it's tall and thick, so I have to double cut it. I don't plan on cutting everything I'm supposed to cut over here, but I'm going to cut all the places where I know a guy might have a problem. See, a lot of times the guys that run the mowers, you know, for me, they'll be on an area like this and they'll be trying to go fast. And you got to kind of, you know, because it's real bumpy. And, you know, jarring the machine hardcore with the blade spinning and all, you can bend something. I know y'all don't think I think like that, but I do. Y'all see the area where the pine, all that area between there and there, we need either I'm gonna get the owner to spray all that, but I'm gonna get in there as close as I can get with a lawnmower all along the road line, right? And the big field out there that y'all see, I may just let Zach come over here and cut that if he comes to work tomorrow. Now I don't know for sure who's coming to work tomorrow or not, but if Zach has a problem coming to work tomorrow, then me and Anthony will run the same route. So either way, Anthony's getting a lot better at everything. You know, he's got to be. You know, he's building his endurance up. I mean, he's getting a lot better. So he's not like a lot of the other guys that come out here. And I know I say that about everybody that comes out here, but Anthony is, but Anthony, he is a, well, he's an anomaly, you know, for working out here, because, well, he's an overachiever, see, and most of the time guys that come out here, they're not overachievers. I hate to label people, but he's an overachiever, and his memory is really good. One thing I noticed about Anthony, as opposed to, well, just about anybody else I've ever had out here, and everybody's different, is he remembers things. Like I showed him how to string the weed eater one time. He had never done it before. I showed him how to do it one time, and he strings them quick, fast, and in a hurry, and you don't waste no string, cutting it a mile long and all that. So that's one little thing. And he remembers the settings on the mowers. That's very unique. Most guys don't remember that from job to job. He remembers a lot of things. His memory is just really good. So I don't know if it's because he's got a great memory, or if he's just applying himself, or if he's taking what he's doing seriously. But by the mere fact that he, you know, went to college and then got his real estate license, well, that kind of tells you where he's at. As far as his mental aptitude. So a guy like Anthony, though he hasn't been out here long, he remembers everything, and that goes back to, you know, because he's been in a learning environment, you know, for most of his life. Probably to this point he's only 25. So you figure high school, college, and real estate school. So he's been in a learning environment where he's had to learn, you know, since he was 12 or 13 years old. And not to mention he don't do drugs and stuff either. So that's a big deal. And he's not a big woman chaser either. So, you know, he's focused on himself and trying to, you know, become, well, he's trying to become more than what he is now. And his brother is kind of you know, guiding him in the beginning of this real estate thing. So kudos to him. I don't never want to hold a man back, but he's been really a great help to me. And he does like to take a lot of breaks, but that's just because he's not used to being out here. But the dude works solid, and he's
great memory. So yeah, and he's his brother is a customer of mine, and his brother is mentoring him in the real estate game. So it's almost like he can't fail, and he's in a great spot. So yeah, so we'll see how available he is this week. That's why y'all see me working and doing some of the jobs by myself over the weekend, so I don't have to, so if something happens with the labor this week, I don't have to worry about falling too far behind, okay? Because this job right here takes a couple of hours, and if you're not careful over here, you'll tear something up. So I'm going to do this one today for the most part. I may, like I said, I may save some of it to see how the time goes. But y'all see how good it's cutting. That's on a 3.75. So over here, I'm probably going to run the mower on like a 4.5 and knock it down, and then yeah, I mean, that's, you know, that's all I can really do. Knock it down and then have to go over it again. But this is the first time we've cut any of this, and I'll cut this too. I want to get footage of this thick stuff though. I'm not really, y'all know I can cut that, but that's what this was right here. So let's put you back on time lapse, and let's cut this little piece right here between here where the tall grass is and the field. So yeah, back to time lapse.